Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to do authorization in NestJS using AuthGuard. So I have already done a video about how to do authorization using middleware in NestJS, but this video is about AuthGuards. We can use middleware, but I think NestJS recommends us to use AuthGuards. So yeah, that's what we will be looking into. So let's get started. So here, as you can see, I have created a simple project. Also, if you see over here, I have one practice project also which I have created. I will be copying a lot of code from that project. It's very difficult for me to remember all the code by myself. Now to create a NestJS project, you can either install the NestJS CLI, or if you have Node.js, you can run a command something like this. Just change this my app to your own project name. So I have already created a project just to save time, and I have seeded into my project as well. Now what I will do is that I will firstly create few controllers, and I will have a sign in and sign up route. Those won't be protected by our AuthGuard, but once I have a token from our sign up and sign in route, that token will be applied for all the other routes, so that if you don't have a token, you can't really access all the other routes. So that's what this video is all about. Let's see how to get started. So firstly, I will create this module for user. So I'll just run this particular command. So it will create a folder inside my project for users inside the src folder. So yeah, let's just wait for it to get complete. So here you can see it has created. Next I will create it for reports as well. Okay, then we will create a controller for users. Then we will do the same thing for reports as well. We'll create controller for reports as well. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. Then we will create service for users, and then we will create reports service for reports as well. So I am done with running all the commands. Then I need to install few dependency. First one is type ORM to connect with our database. Second one is SQLite. This is my database, but you can use whatever you feel like. Then class transformer and class validator, because whenever we want to send data through our controller, class transformer, class validator makes it very simple to communicate with DTOs and all that stuff. So I'll just install all these dependencies inside our project as well. So if I just show it to you, something like this, and now this will take a little bit of time, so be patient. Then we have to create a file called, now I will just copy this code from my project, but I'll explain it as much as I can. So firstly, I don't think we require this decorator. Yeah, we don't really need this decorator, ignore that. Then we have this guards. So firstly I will create a guard. So inside src I will create a folder called guard. Okay, guards. Okay, and I'll just copy this. Okay, here I'll just change it to guards. Okay, and I'll just copy this file name. I'll create this particular TypeScript file. Now I will just copy paste all the code inside it. I'll explain it to you. So mostly like I have copied this code from the documentation. Important thing is we require this NestJS JWT, right? So whenever this AuthGuard will be only be fired for all routes except the sign in and sign up route. So once you are sending a token, you will send a token like authorization bearer space token. So we are removing that bearer space. Okay, we are only getting the token from your request, and then I am using this JWT verify to verify our token. And then once we have that proper token, I am just assigning it to our request.current user, and I'm returning back. In case we don't get the token, I'm just throwing an exception. I think I have not installed this particular dependency, so I'll just copy this dependency as well. npm install @NestJS JWT. Okay, then interceptors. Yeah, we require this interceptor because I'm using that class validator and class transformer, those kind of dependency. So this is boilerplate code, don't worry too much about it. You don't really need this if you are not using that class validator and class transformer which I have just talked about. So I will just create this particular file. Sorry about the background noise. Every time I record there is something or the other going on in the background. Yeah, can't really help it. But here, as you can see, I have just copy pasted this code from the documentation itself. So this again is mostly used for if you are using that class validator, class transformer dependencies. So don't worry too much about it. Then inside main.ts, I don't think I am really doing anything. Okay, I think I am doing some stuff. Don't save. Okay, inside main.ts, I will just open it on the right hand side, and here, as you can see, I will just copy this and I will paste it over here. Okay, and we have to include this validation pipe. I don't remember why I'm using it, sorry about that, but maybe you can check the documentation why exactly we require this validation pipe. Then comes our auth module.ts. I am not really sure. We require few steps from app.module.ts. Okay, I'll open it on the right hand side. So first we require this type ORM module. I'll copy that and paste it over here. I think that's the only thing. I'll just import it as well. Okay, and here we require this user. Now be careful, like this report, there is something called reports inside NestJS as well. That's why it is only showing error for me on user. But yeah, I have not created those file yet, but for now I'll just import it something like this. Okay, yeah, hopefully you got the point. Next, this error we will be fixing in a bit. I don't think inside app controller I have anything. No, nothing inside app controller. Anyways, then here we have our reports. Firstly, I'll show you the users so that you guys have a better idea. So inside user, firstly we require this DTOs folder. Okay, and here currently I'm not using this create update, but if you want I will just show you that code as well in case if you are curious. And here I'll just open all these files. Okay, and I'll create these files as well. So first is create user dto.ts. Second one is update user dto.ts. And last is user.dto.ts. Okay, so here inside firstly create user.dto.ts, I'll just copy this and paste it over here. So whenever we want to create a user, it will require an email ID as well as a password. Okay, then for update user, we will again take an email ID or password. Both of this is optional. Again, I won't really show you this. I'm just showing it just for in case if you are interested. And this is our user DTO. So as you can see, it takes an ID as well as an email, and here there is token as well, which is expected because we won't be exposing the ID here. Though I have written expose, but we won't be sending those data, and we also won't be exposing our password to the end user. Next is user controller, user entity, user module, and user service. So I'll open all this file. So firstly I'll copy everything from user controller inside of this particular file. Okay, so here you can first I'll copy everything, then I'll explain it to you. I think that would be much better. Here I'll just create this user entity.ts. Okay, and I'll copy this, I'll paste it over here. And next is user module .ts. I'll just paste it over here. Okay, and last is user service. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here as well. Okay, so coming back to our code, so first is user entity.ts. so here you can see this is a user, how it will look inside our database. So it will have an ID, an email, as well as a password. Okay, next is user module. So here you can see I am importing this JWT because I want that. This is my secret, change it to whatever you feel like, and this is I have kept it as 60 hours, but yeah, change it to whatever you feel like for your token. Okay, that's it. Then here comes our user service. So firstly these are all the imports. Okay, we require the user repository injection inside user service. For creating an email, we just call this create method. this dot report dot create, sorry, which is present inside type orm to create an user, and then we save that particular user as well. This is for sign up. It takes an email and password. We check whether we have an existing user. If yes, throw an exception. Then we create a salt and hash for our result, for our password, sorry, and then save it inside our database. And here we create a token out of ID and email of the user and return it back. If you only want the ID of the user, you can just comment out the email as well. Same for sign in. Check whether the user already exists. If it does not exist, then throw an exception. Here again we create that hash to decode that password, and if it is proper, then we just create a token and return it back. Here I am just created this helper method. This is for finding one user, finding by email. This is for updating the user, and this is for remove. I'm not really using all this stuff, but yeah, I'm just showing it to you in case if you guys are curious. Then inside user controller, here you can see these are all the imports firstly. Then this is marked as auth. We take a user service. This is our sign up route. As you can see, we just call the sign up method. Similarly for sign in as well. And here I have this who am I route, which takes the AuthGuard. So whenever you want to access this, it will require the token, and I'm just printing whatever user has been decoded from that token. Similarly, if you want to do it for find user, you need to pass this request user over here as the first parameter. Check if this request.current user is proper or not, then only perform this operation. Same you can do over here, same you can do over here, same you can do over here as well. Okay, so yeah, that's it for user. Let's quickly do it for reports as well. So I'll just open all these files. Okay, I'll just close all this. So first we require you, I'll just again copy all the code and then I'll explain it to you. So first I have this report.controller.ts. I'll just copy it. Okay, then I have this report.entity.ts, right? I'll just create this TypeScript file and I'll just copy this again. Reports.modules.ts. And here is our reports.service.ts as well. Okay, so hopefully this is done. Then like as usual, I'll quickly, okay, why am I getting this error? Create report DTO. Okay, we need to create DTOs as well, sorry. So I'll just create this folder, DTOs, and this is for create report DTO.ts. Just open this, I'll copy it, I'll paste it over here. Okay, so first as you can, okay, still it is giving me an error. Okay, I think this is more related to VS Code not being proper or something related to TypeScript. Let me quickly import it myself. Okay, dots, DTOs. Okay, now it is proper. Anyways, coming back to our code, so inside DTO I have just created this particular name, and if you see my report.entity.ts, it has only an ID as well as a name. So this is how our table will look like inside our database. Inside report modules, here this is by default, I haven't done anything really. If you see my report service, here we take our repository as a dependency, and here I have two methods, create and get. Inside create we just create the report, and inside get we just find all the reports and just give it back to the user. And inside report controller.ts, again these are all the imports. This is the path. So for create, again I have marked it as @useguards AuthGuard. We take the request, and if the request.current user is proper, then only we create a report, otherwise I throw an exception. Similarly over here as well, I take the request, I have marked it as @useguards AuthGuards. If the current user is proper, then only I get all the reports back. So if you see over here, I have already created one email, so I'll just create it again. So okay, I'm not running this, I need to run our server. npm run start :dev. Okay, so okay, we need to wait because for the very first time it will create our SQLite database inside our project as well. Here you should be able to see. Let's wait a few seconds. Has it? No, it has still not created. So this is only, So here you can see now it has created. Anyways, we can't really view it directly via VS Code. You can use some app or directly use an online browser to view SQLite. So I will just create this. Here you can see it has created this particular user. This is sign up. Okay, for sign in, again if I sign in with some random user, it won't work. I'll just make this as proper, and here you can see we get the token. So I'll just copy this particular token, okay, and I will just paste it over here. So this is the older token. I'll just paste it over here. So this is the who am I route. If I send, here you can see I'm getting the proper details. If I don't send the bearer token, here you can see I get internal server error. Similarly for post call as well, I'll just remove this. I'll use my token. I'll click on send. Here you can see it has created this, but if I remove my token, here you can see I get an error. Now for getting routes as well, if I click on get, here you can see we are getting our data. Also inside post I'm sending it like this, okay. So for get, yeah, and if I just remove it, we get error. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.